Good morning. I'd like to call to order Franklin County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is December 18, 2018. We'll begin with a Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What is this ceremonial resolution? What is that?
Kathy Kerr from
Oh, okay, this is the next second. All right. So first of all, we've got special guest, Kathy Kerr, who is retiring director of the court-appointed special advocates of Franklin County. And we have her with us today. At the end of the year, Kathy Kerr will be retiring as executive director of CASA, the court-appointed special advocates of Franklin County, working hand-in-hand with juvenile courts and training CASA volunteers. Kathy has spent the last 7 years serving the most at-risk and severe cases of child abuse and neglect. We are indebted to her service and wish to recognize Kathy for her commitment to the most vulnerable Franklin County residents. Kathy, where's Kathy? Oh, okay. Oh, hi, Kathy. How are you? Come on forward. Please come to the. Welcome once again. And why are you retiring? You don't want to retire. You want to stay. Why would you retire? What are you talking about?
Just going to do some other things in the community. I'm not real sure what right now, but it's been a real joy and a pleasure to be with CASA, Franklin County, and to work on behalf of the children that you all support and serve, as well as a number of folks in the audience here. But it's been a great joy. I've really enjoyed it. And Kevin Greenwood, our new executive director, has been with CASA now over a year, and he's already been part of the growth of the organization. So we're going to keep working real hard to serve more and more children.
You've grown and strengthened the program in the time you've been there, and for that we thank you and know that Kevin will carry on and continue to grow. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And thank you for your support. You've been from day one supportive. Well, you have been for a long time, since I've been here 7.5 years, not only of the program every time I've come to you, but also supportive of me personally, and I really, really appreciate that.
Well, we really appreciate your dedication and your commitment to the children. So thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you so much. Okay.
We'd like to present you with this resolution,
okay.
a small token of our appreciation.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, here, I'll get you over here. Here, I'll take your things. And then we'll get you stuff. Okay, thank you. Of course. Just a second. We're going to take her staff. Oh, yeah. Come on up. Come on up. Here, they had been all week. Oh, gosh. All right. Let's get you in here. There you go. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
For arranging yourself there. Perfect. Thank you. They get each other for the holidays. Absolutely. I do. I know where to find me. I do. Thank you.
Next, we have Jody Lease, Assistant Director of Human Resources Benefits, recognizing a Franklin County Thrive On Wellness Prize winner. Jody, if you could come to the microphone. Jody and her benefits and wellness team are committed to, excuse me, to promoting a healthy wellness program among our county employees. We understand the advantage of keeping a healthy and productive county workforce and how that directly contributes to our community. And so you all do wonderful work. And so tell us about who we're recognizing.
I sure will. Well, thank you for those kind words, and thank you for allowing us and joining us in recognizing some of our winners, our Wellness Prize winners for 2018. We had 10 winners this year, and 4 are here with me today, and I will name those 4 right now. We have Kelly Green from Probate Court. We have Kelly McGuire from EMA, and we have Sharice Parnell and Tara Myers, both of JFS.
Great.
So the additional, yes, thank you. So we had additional winners from Children's Services. Stanley Gates, who's the spouse of one of our Children's Services employees, Ramona Gates. Carolyn Pierce, Zachary Wells, Farron Hummel, and Dean Graham, all of the Sheriff's Department, and Heather Markham from Child Support. So just a few words about how these folks got here. Thrive On understands that everybody's wellness journey is somewhat different. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Some are more comfortable with face-to-face interaction. Some prefer digital. So our programming allows a variety of opportunities for people to approach it in their own way. And the 4 individuals here, as well as the other 10 or the other 6 Wellness Prize winners, all earned 100 wellness points by participating in Thrive On wellness programming during 2018. Now, points could be awarded for taking a health risk assessment or completing a health screening, which is where you get your clinical numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol numbers read. Maintaining a healthy weight or participating in a weight management program earns points. Practicing prevention, which we know is key, so visiting your primary care physician for your annual physical or getting your dental or vision exams and making sure those are kept up to date. Engaging in health coaching. We know that one-on-one work with an individual is really key. And also participating in wellness challenges. We had the Daily Dash this year where every day you were challenged to maybe integrate a little bit of wellness into every bit of your day. So, those are just a few examples of activities that our members can partake in to earn wellness points. And by earning 100 wellness points, you qualify to become a Wellness Prize winner. And we selected the 10 that we have this morning. So at this point, I would like to call them up and hopefully get a picture up, if we could, and present them with a certificate.
Great.
Come on up. Oh.
Can you guys come around? So sorry. They're all
We thought they were going to speak.
I thought.
I thought we thought they were going to speak.
Gonna
Oh.
introduce them or something.
Tell us what they did.
Great. All right. Hang on. And a couple more. Thank you. Did you get some? Okay, great. Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your support, always. Thank you, Commissioner Brooks. Thank you.
All right. Keeping it moving.
Good news to celebrate.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of November 27th, December 4th, 2018 general session, and the minutes of December 6th, 2018 briefing session?
Move approval of the minutes.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
yes.
Commissioner Boyd.
Yes.
The minutes have been approved.
Great. Thank you. Auditor.
Resolution number 863-18. Resolution authorizing an amendment to the enterprise licensing agreement with Environmental Systems Research Institute for Geographic Information System software and services utilizing non-general funds in the amount of $1,050,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Austin Chen, Chief Technology Compliance Officer from Auditor's Office. Joining with me is Kevin Schultz, GIS Manager from Auditor's Office. We are seeking approval for an amendment to the enterprise license agreement with Esri, or Environmental System Research Institute. The amendment of the contract is for an additional 3 years from the end of the previous contract in the amount of $1,050,000 utilized real estate assessment fund. Esri has been providing geography information system software and services for about 120 Franklin County GIS users in 11 agencies since 2015. We foresee this number will be growing fast in the near future. Pending on any question, I ask for your approval.
Move approval of Resolution 86318.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 863-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Engineer.
Resolution number 864-18. Report first of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Norton Road and Johnson Road improvement, Prairie Township and Pleasant Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $30,000.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
My name is Cornell Robertson, Franklin County Engineer. With me today,
Carla Marable.
Commissioners, I'd also like to mention that we have an engineering job shadow following us today, Kinsey Kahn from Salina, Ohio.
Where is
she?
Welcome.
Our first resolution is for a capital improvement project in the southwest part of the county on the line between Prairie Township and Pleasant Township at the intersection of Norton Road and Johnson Road, where we are designing a single-lane roundabout. This resolution is the first report for right-of-way acquisition, includes one property, and the appraisal was based on fair market value.
Move approval of 86418.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 864-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 865-18. Resolution authorizing the adoption of the Franklin County Engineer Vision Statement.
Commissioners, this resolution is the first of its kind for the Franklin County Engineer's Office. During the past year, we've realized the importance of having a clear and well-defined vision statement. This is an effort that comprised of working with our team of employees that were included from various departments, age ranges, and backgrounds. And so we thought it would be appropriate to share our vision statement with you and ask for your concurrence. If you don't mind, I'd like to officially read it into the record.
Please do.
The Franklin County Engineers Office is an agency of action, innovation, and collaboration. We provide for safe and efficient movement of people and goods from place to place by building and maintaining Franklin County's roads and bridges. We provide consistent and resourceful services such as surveying, engineering, inspection, construction, road maintenance, drainage, and snow and ice removal. We pride ourselves on consistently meeting deadlines and budgets. We are efficient with taxpayers' dollars while utilizing innovative and unique funding sources. The Franklin County Engineers Office is a family-oriented organization where everyone is a leader. Our staff leads by example to encourage teamwork and growth. We ensure safety for all of our employees. We are passionate, approachable, and understanding of employee needs. We challenge employees to be the best they can be in a positive and respectful work environment. Employees enjoy a sense of accomplishment while doing important work for our community. Employees also support the community through charitable events such as blood drives, food bank fundraisers, and holiday gift sponsorships for the underprivileged. We acknowledge our employees' hard work with advancement based on performance and an excellent benefits package. The Franklin County Engineers Office is focused on offering a diverse and inclusive work environment where all employees are supported and have the opportunity to share ideas, to grow, and to succeed. We develop future leaders by providing training and education opportunities. Our team understands the importance of and is committed to utilizing small and disadvantaged business enterprises through procurement and professional services. We actively pursue public engagement and outreach to underserved populations of Franklin County. The Franklin County Engineers Office is determined to better the community and is accountable to our role in that betterment. We build relationships with all surrounding communities and other agencies by understanding the importance of a safe and efficient regional transportation system. The Engineers Office collaborates with our peers through community outreach and engagement. We are a credible voice in the engineering community because of our years of experience and our willingness to face challenges head-on. We strive to assist the public by being approachable and open-minded to their needs and helping them get the answers they seek. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move approval of 865-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 865-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 866-18. Clinton Park West Drive and Menai Way accepted for public maintenance and shall become part of the Jefferson Township road system.
Commissioners, this resolution seeks approval of the Clinton Park West Drive and Menai Way in the Weldon Farm subdivision. We request that that these roads are made a part of the public road system and responsibility be turned over to Jefferson Township. We have inspected the roads and determined that they meet the specifications. This resolution represents the last legislative step before the developer can begin to build homes.
Move approval of 866-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Resolution number 866-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 867-18. Resolution authorizing the Franklin County engineer to enter into a contract modification for Strasser Paving Company for the 2018 Franklin County Township Resurfacing Program, an increase of $145,006.72 for a revised contract amount of $1,898,521.44.
Commissioners, this resolution seeks approval of a contract modification with Strasser Paving Company for the 2018 Township Resurfacing Program. Subsequent to awarding the contract, several townships requested additional work requiring a modification to the contract. The total cost of the modification will be reimbursed by the townships, and passage of this resolution allows us to compensate the contractor for their work.
Move approval of resolution 867-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 867-18 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sheriff Office.
Resolution number 868-18, supplemental contract with Matrix Point Software LLC and the Franklin County Sheriff's Office for the Matrix Police Case Management System in the amount of $2,450,000.
Do we not have anyone from the Sheriff's Office here?
The sheriff's office here.
Do we have anyone from the Sheriff's Office here?
You want to wait until they move that out of the order, out of order until they get here?
Okay.
Go down to Job and Family Services.
All right. Jobs and Family Services.
Resolution number 871-18, resolution authorizing Franklin County Job and Family Services Director to authorize and execute inter-county adjustment agreements of allocated funds on behalf of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners.
Good morning, Commissioners. Charles Noble, Chief Legal Counsel, Franklin County Job and Family Services. This resolution will authorize the Director on behalf of the Board of Commissioners to authorize and execute inter-county adjustments of allocated federal fiscal year 2018 funds not to exceed $800,000. The Director would only be authorized to do so through December 31st, 2018, and will provide a summary of any such adjustments to the BOC. The state formula used to allocate federal funds to counties is based off census data and does not allow counties to request adjustments. However, a state law passed in 2013 allows counties to trade unused funds from one area of funds in an area where there is additional need, such as our Food Assistance Employment Training Program, or our FAYET. On November 29th, our agency received additional federal fiscal year 18 funds from the state ODJFS. These funds can only be utilized to reimburse for services provided through federal fiscal year 18, October 1, 2017 through September 30, 2018. Counties are provided a short liquidation period through the end of the calendar year to process final expenditures for federal fiscal year 18. Due to this short window, and because the BOC is not scheduled to hold session again before it closes, we are requesting the delegated authority for the director to authorize inter-county adjustments. This will allow us to support our sister counties and minimize unspent federal allocations, which do not carry over into the next fiscal year. Our agency would brief the BOC and county administration prior to executing any inter-county transfers and provide a summary of any and all transfers completed during this period. Pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
Smart. Move approval of Resolution 87118.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Resolution number 871-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 872-18, resolution approving 2 subaward agreements with Goodwill Industries of Central Ohio and Jewish Family Services for workforce development services in amount of $131,047.84.
For the past 4 years, we have partnered with the Child Support Enforcement Agency through the Compass and Catalyst programs. The Catalyst program targets unemployed obligors who have received a new child support order, while the Compass program provides obligors facing civil contempt charges for failure to meet payments with intervention services in lieu of jail time. Both programs, which are administered by Goodwill and Jewish Family Services, provide individualized career planning and vocational training in addition to job search, placement, and retention services. We know that child support compliance correlates with obligor income, i.e. 82% collection rate for high income orders and 30% collection rate for low income orders, making integrative partnerships like this between Child Support Enforcement and JFS a win-win. Unemployed non-custodial parents are able to move forward towards self-sufficiency through employment, and single parent families who are far more likely to live in poverty than two-parent households are more likely to receive the support payments they're owed, which can be the difference between requiring public assistance and their own economic independence. The providers will target approximately 65 to 80 obligors under the next contract. Pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 87218.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 872-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 873-18, resolution approving 2 subaward agreements with Eckerd Youth Alternatives and Impact Community Action to provide Franklin County Comprehensive Case Management and Employment Program for out-of-school youth in amount of $2,300,000.
Commissioners, the state originally proposed a comprehensive case management and employment program as part of the 2016-2017 state biennial budget. The program blends Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, or TANF, and Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, or WIOA funds, and requires a commissioner-designated lead entity to administer wraparound case management services for eligible youth aged 14 to 24. The goal is to assist these opportunity youth and their families overcome whatever barriers they may face, including education, job training, parenting support, mental health, or substance abuse, and to begin a path towards self-sufficiency and break the cycle of poverty. As the designated lead entity for Franklin County, our agency worked with the Workforce Development Board of Central Ohio, which is responsible for administering WIOA in Franklin County, to develop and release a joint RFP to cover 14 core services. These include career counseling and navigation services, job readiness, work experience, occupational skills training, assessments, and follow-up services. The providers, Eckerd Youth Alternatives and Impact Community Action, were selected after a joint procurement process between FCD-JFS and the Workforce Board, and combined will serve an estimated 500 TANF and/or WIOA eligible youth. As I have opportunities to intersect with some of our workforce development partners and our workforce development staff, I've seen a lot of these opportunity youth come through the doors of JFS and have had opportunities to work with them as well. And so really appreciate this opportunity to continue to serve this vulnerable age group. Pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 87318.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Resolution number 873-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Charles.
Fleet management.
Resolution number 874-18, resolution approving first contract extension and modifications with Riker Ford and Byers Chevrolet for the supply and delivery of hybrid vehicles for the Franklin County Fleet Management Department in the amount of $1 million.
Good morning, Commissioners. Charlotte Ashcraft, Director of Fleet Management. This resolution before you is requesting authorization to extend our hybrid vehicle purchase contract for 1 year. The original contract with Reichard Ford, Inc. and Byers Chevrolet, LLC was approved on November 22, 2016 under Resolution 0812-16. The original contract was for 2 years with the option to extend for 3 one-year periods. This is our first extension. The contract extension would be through December 10, 2019. Currently, our fleet has 26 alternative powered vehicles, 14 hybrid plug-ins, 10 hybrid self-generating sedans, 1 electric diesel bus, and 1 propane-powered bus. So we expect to continue purchasing the hybrids. So pending any question, I request passage of this resolution.
Move approval of 874-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 874-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Sanitary engineers.
Resolution number 875-18, resolution authorizing the increase in the countywide rate structure for water and sewer services.
Good morning, Commissioner. Stephen Renner with the Sanitary Engineering Department. Commissioners, our water and sewer rates are driven by 3 main drivers: water and sewer rates from Columbus Public Utilities, increases in operational and maintenance costs, and regulatory pressures to upgrade and replace our aging infrastructures. The City of Columbus Public Utilities plans to increase their 2019 water and sewer rates by 1% and 2% respectively. That's 1% on the water, 2% on the sewer. These rates will be effective January 1st, 2019. I respectfully seek your approval of this resolution.
Director, we talked about notice to residents, and what's the plan to make sure residents have ample notice to know about the rates and why the rates occur and that kind of thing?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. We are putting together something that will be inclusive in our bills to formally let them know exactly what it is, how it's going to affect their bill, and what are the drivers, again, the increasing costs, what are we facing internally. I will also let you know that at least another entity called Timberlake Homeowners Association, which is about 200-ish of our accounts, we are always in discussions with them. They are aware, they've let already their population know about these. But we have been very public about what are the cost drivers inside our agency, and so they are aware.
And how many users will be affected? And what's our overall amount of people?
Thank you. So we have just less than 6,000 accounts. And so we do have a countywide rate structure where it's the same across the board. So it's everybody who is a water or a sewer or both.
Okay. And the notices will go out now? How quickly are we?
We are trying to get that out before the January 1st timeline.
Great. Okay.
City, or the public should understand that while, the city has over 1 million customers, one of our biggest challenges is that we as a county have a little over 6,000 customers. So, it's a very expensive proposition for us to run sanitary engineering department because we have so few customers that are located all over Franklin County, and the city of Columbus has more than 1 million customers. They have a public utilities department of over 1,300 employees. We have a sanitary engineering department that's got 21 employees. So it's a very expensive department for us to run because it's located all over Franklin County. And so it's, which is why we've been in conversation with the city for some time to try to figure out how to be in better, in business with them on a more in a better way going forward. So this is a very difficult thing for us, but we're at their mercy. So if they raise their rates, we have to raise ours because we buy water from them. So
That's correct.
thank you. Move approval of resolution 875-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce? Resolution number 875-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Steve.
Economic Development.
Resolution number 876-18, review a petition to annex 15.8 acres from Jackson Township to the city of Grove City, case number ANX 24-18.
Morning, Commissioners. Director James Schimmer from Economic Development and Planning, joined by Matt Brown, who is our Planning Administrator. Commissioner, we have two resolutions on this morning. Matt will take you first through the annexation.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution is to consider an expedited Type 2 annexation petition of 15.8 acres of land from Jackson Township to the city of Grove City. The area to be annexed includes parcel numbers 160-000-323 and 160-001022, located on the east side of Harrisburg Pike between Wrench Road and Orders Road. The petition was filed by Jackson B. Reynolds III on behalf of the property owners, Harrisburg Pike Investors, LLC. 13.9% of the site's perimeter is contiguous to the city of Grove City, and the city passed resolution number CR 60-18 on November 19th, 2018, indicating the services that will be provided once the annexation is approved. The petition meets all statutory requirements of Section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, staff requests your approval.
Move approval of resolution. I assume it meets all, you said it meets all statutory requirements. Everything's good in it?
Yes.
All right, move approval of 876-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 876-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks.
Resolution number 877-18, resolution declaring the improvements to certain real property to be a public purpose and exempt from taxation, establishing a redevelopment tax equivalent fund, and providing for the collection and deposit of service payments into that fund, and specifying the purposes for which those service payments may be expended.
Commissioners, Alex Barris, our Assistant Director, has joined me at the dais here this morning. Commissioners, this is a resolution that we're particularly proud of to bring forward this morning. First of all, it involves the West Side, and the West Side hasn't been forgotten in our development process. One of the big things that, as you know, is that urban development is some of the heaviest lifting we can do. It is fraught with a variety of different issues and has the opportunity to be terrific, but we have to work through some of the issues before we can actually get to the development. This particular project is one that we have worked with the county engineer's office and his staff. Very, very happy that they have given us the time and energy that they have to see some of these issues clear. So what I'd like to do is have Alex take you through kind of a detailed analysis of where we're headed with this particular project. And I'll point out to you that as we continue to move through our development process in some of the urban townships and actually unincorporated areas, we're going to be aggressive in trying to stimulate private sector real estate development. The Westland or Weston area is no different. We've already had some great projects that have occurred out there, but this one is particularly important because it pushes a lot of buttons that I know you all want to see happen. So with that, I'll turn it over to Alex.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'll be brief. Alex Barris, Franklin County Economic Development Assistant Director. This project is, as Jim was alluding to, is on the southwest corner of Broad and Georgesville, as you can see, essentially directly across the street from the casino. What the project entails is that La Plaza Tapatio, which is a homegrown regional grocer that has a multi-state draw now, has outgrown their facilities where they currently are. are looking to build new and expand, as well as expand in some other areas that not only creates jobs, but really creates a food asset in that area. What happened was there was, as you guys know, there's a lot of apartments out in that area, and that parcel that's up there was filled with some of those apartments that the land bank, the county's land bank, under your direction, took down a number of years ago. That property then was sold to La Plaza Tapatia to do their development. During their due diligence, they found essentially, and this just happens sometimes in redevelopment in urban areas, an unplatted and unowned 42-inch regional storm sewer that needed to be rehabbed and in some places replaced. Economic Development Planning approached the ownership group and said, there's a vehicle to help you with this, and that is a tax increment financing for the parcel. And so quickly all that means is that as the incremental improvements go on in the new development, the ownership group will continue to pay those incremental new taxes, but a portion of that, 75% for 10 years, will go into a TIF fund to help repay the county engineer's work in replacing the storm sewer. This isn't just for this parcel. This is really important for that area and that region's redevelopment. So mentioning the county engineer's office, we've had some really great, as Jim alluded to, great partnerships with them, as well as our Franklin Township trustees. They're represented here. I'd love to have Cornell Robertson, our county engineer, come up, but also, most importantly, the people that we couldn't do this without the private sector risk taking an investment is the ownership group for La Plaza Tapatia. So I'd like to have them all come up just quickly and say a couple words. But once again, we're really excited that there's over $9 million of private investment in this area. This is one of the biggest projects on the west side, and we think it's going to be a catalyst for development there in the future years.
Good morning. My name is Tim Owens, and I've had the privilege of being legal counsel for La Plaza Tapatia and the Salazar Group since 2010. This project is very important to them. I've watched them make good business decision after good business decision to get to this point. And I had the pleasure of working with my former Bricker and Eckler partner, John Rosenberger, and purchasing the property for them about 1.5 years ago. And as Alex said, we had an oops in that there was a 42-inch storm sewer that nobody knew about. It's going to increase development costs significantly. And given what has happened on the west side, it seemed best to relocate the sewer line so that it could serve not only this project, which we hope will be a magnet for additional projects in the area, but also existing projects that are there, and modernize and rehab the line. So with Alex's help, the county engineer's help, and everyone else involved, we were able to put this project together, and I'm happy to report that the SBA has now approved all the financing. We will be closing on the loan either Thursday afternoon, or as closings normally go, probably Friday morning. But we will get it done by the end of the year, and the official groundbreaking will take place early next year. And in light of that, I'd like to turn it over to the members of the ownership group, Griselda and Gustavo. Now, I've been told that since Gustavo got to speak at the groundbreaking in the summer, as a good husband, he ceded the dais to his wife.
Hi, good morning. My name is
morning.
Griselda Gonzalez. Me and my husband are the owner for La Plaza Tapatia, so I'm so happy and so excited for this project. I just wanted to say thank you for everybody. I thank you, team, for all your time. And this project is very important for a lot of employers, so I think they're gonna make a lot of job there. So I just want to say that I'm so excited and I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Cornell, I think this project, in the townships, there's going to be a lot of redevelopment, and that means infrastructure. And so we can do our part at the Economic Development Planning Department in terms of finding ways to finance that and develop it, but really we can't do it without our Public Works Department and the county engineer. So,
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, commissioners. Thrilled to be a part of this project. I think it's a perfect example of agencies of action, agencies of innovation, and agencies of collaboration. And we're happy to provide our expertise in managing designs of projects and construction inspection. So again, thank you
I think
for this
this
opportunity.
It's a perfect project to use this tool of a TIF, and this makes so much sense. So thank you to everybody for working in collaboration, and to the township trustees.
Yes.
I think it makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Alex, I think we talked about the other day, so the La Plaza Tapatia is the driver for this TIF.
Absolutely.
And they're obviously going to benefit from the redevelopment of this the work that Cornell's department's doing, but this is going to benefit a lot of businesses up and down Georgesville Road, is it not?
Absolutely. This is regional infrastructure in its nature, and obviously we want to fix it right the first time, so as new development and new uses come in, it's there and ready and up to specs. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Being that, we ask for your approval, Commissioners.
Move approval of Resolution 877-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 877-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners, and happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.
If you want to. I would say keep going. Let's keep going. Come back to it. Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 878-18, resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Mouser Masonry to perform detention masonry activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Corrections Center in the amount of $2,325,000.
Bunch of these.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director of Public Facilities Management. Also joining me today is Vivian Alexander, PFM Chief Operating Officer, and Dr. Bill Lafayette of Regionomics LLC, who will provide a summary of the economic impact studies he conducted for the resolutions before you today. Carol Loshevsky of Pizzuti Solutions, owner's representative on the project, is also present in the audience. PFM has 9 resolutions today that are all associated with construction of the new Corrections Center, which includes 6 prime contract agreements and 3 contract modifications. This first resolution authorizes a contract agreement with Mouser Masonry, Inc. to perform detention masonry activities. 2 bids were received, and Mouser was the low bidder. Mouser is an established local firm in Grove City. Mouser is signatory to Bricklayers Local 55, and 15 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Mouser has committed to 1.1%, approximately 26,000 diversity participation from one local material supplier on its SEBE utilization plan. Mouser is self-performing the work, and therefore participation on this contract is limited. I will now turn it over to Dr. Lafayette to present his summary of the economic impact for this resolution. Then, pending any questions, we request your approval of this action.
Good morning, Commissioners. The economic impact of the Mouser contract is an increase of $3.8 million in county output, production, and spending within Franklin County, $952,000 in household earnings in the county, an average of 20 jobs created and sustained, and $2.2 million in value added. In other words, an increase in Franklin County's GDP.
Excellent. Move approval of 878-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Resolution number 878-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 879-18, resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Warner Metal Works to perform miscellaneous steel activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center in the amount of $4,423,925.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution awards a contract to Warner Metal Works Incorporated of Delaware, Ohio, to perform miscellaneous steel activities. 1 bid was received. 12 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of the contract at peak. Warner is signatory to Ironworkers Local 172 in Columbus. With assistance from the county, Warner is now a veteran-friendly business enterprise, VBE, so there is 100% diversity participation. Additionally, Warner has committed to subcontract 5.34%, $236K, to one material supplier that is a disadvantaged business enterprise, DBE. Now I will turn it over to Dr. Lafayette, then pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution. Thank you.
The impact of this contract is $6.8 million in Franklin County output, $1.7 million in household earnings, an average of 37 jobs, and $4 million in value added.
Move approval of 87918.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Resolution number 879-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 880-18, resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Madison Heights Glass Company to perform security glazing activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center in the amount of $4,137,600.
This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with Madison Heights Glass Company, Inc. to perform security glazing activities. 2 bids were received, and Madison Heights was the low bidder. Madison Heights is headquartered in Ferndale, Michigan, but will utilize local labor with 12 jobs to be created at peak. Madison Heights is signatory to the Glazers Local 372 in Columbus. Madison Heights has committed to 13.96%, approximately $578,000 diversity participation from one material supplier on its SEBE utilization plan. I will now turn it over to Dr. Lafayette, and then pending any questions, we request your approval of this contract agreement.
The impact of the Madison Heights Glass contract is $1.7 million in output, $442,000 in household earnings, an average of 9 jobs, and $1 million in value added.
Move approval of 88018.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 880-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 881-18, resolution authorizing a contract agreement, with WF Bowling Company to perform painting activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center in the amount of $1,879,000.
This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with WF Bowling Company, an established local firm on Fisher Road, to perform painting activities. 2 bids were received, and Bowling was the low bidder. Bowling is signatory to Painters Local 1275 in Columbus. 18 jobs are anticipated to be created at peak. Bowling has committed to 0.26%, approximately $5,000, diversity participation from one local material supplier on its SEB utilization plan. The construction team provided a list of 9 potential SEBE painting contractors, and Bowling made a good faith effort, but no firms responded. Bowling will work to seek additional diversity participation, and the team will continue to monitor their efforts. I will now turn it over to Dr. Lafayette, and then pending any questions, we request your approval of this action. Thank you.
The economic impact of the WF Bowling contract is $3 million in county output, $766,000 in household earnings, an average of 16 jobs, and $1.8 million in county value added.
Move approval of 88118.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 881-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 882-18, resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Cornerstone Detention Products to perform detention equipment activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center in the amount of $22,667,000.
This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with Cornerstone Detention Products, Inc. to perform detention equipment activities such as security doors, fixed beam seating, detention and institutional furniture, detention security panel systems, etc. 2 bids were received, and Cornerstone was the low bidder. Cornerstone is headquartered in Madison, Alabama, but will utilize local labor with 25 jobs anticipated to be created at peak. Cornerstone has provided the county its notice of intent to become signatory to the Carpenters Local 200 in Columbus. Cornerstone has committed to 5%, approximately $1.13 million diversity participation from one Ohio-based minority business enterprise, an MBE, an EDGE firm, on its SEBE utilization plan. It is important to note that the detention equipment industry is highly specialized and is known to have historically very low, often 0% diversity participation. However, Cornerstone understands the importance of the county's aspirational goal and has worked with the team to commit to 5% over $1 million. We will continue to aggressively monitor this contract's participation. I will now turn it over to Dr. Lafayette, and then pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
The economic impact of the Cornerstone contract is $10.7 million in county output, $2.7 million in county household earnings, an average of 58 jobs, and $6.3 million in county value added.
Move approval of 88218.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 882-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 883-18. Resolution authorizing a contract agreement with OCP Contractors to perform fireproofing activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center in the amount of $1,478,360.
This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with OCP Contractors Incorporated to perform fireproofing activities. 2 bids were received and OCP was the low bidder. OCP Contractors Incorporated is a local firm and is signatory to Plasterers and Cement Masons, Local 132 in Columbus. Up to 10 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. There is no commitment of diversity participation at this time, as there is a requirement to be a certified installer in order to purchase materials from the manufacturer. OCP will continue to explore participation opportunities, and the team will monitor their efforts. I will now turn it over to Dr. Lafayette, and then pending any questions, we request your approval of this action. Thank you.
The economic impact of the OCP Contractors contract is $2.4 million in county output, $600,000 in earnings, an average of 13 jobs, and $1.4 million in county value added. Just a note, I'm going to analyze the impact of the contract modifications that are coming up, and I'll put them in my next memo. The total impact of all 6 of these bids is $28.4 million in Franklin County output, $7.2 million in county household earnings, 150 full-time and part-time jobs, and $16.7 million in long-term value added. Of these totals, the amount due to participation of small and emerging businesses totals $8.5 million in output, $2.2 million in earnings, 46 jobs, and $5 million in value added, which brings us to an impact to date of $231.7 million in county output, $57.4 million in earnings, 1,100 jobs sustained, and $135 million in long-term impact to the county's GDP. Around 22% of that total comes from SEBEs.
Great.
Dr. Lafayette. Move approval of Resolution 88318. Good work.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce? Resolution number 883-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 884-18. Resolution authorizing a modification to the contract agreement with SA Communal Company to perform additional fire protection activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center at an increase in an amount of the contract not to exceed $90,740 for a total amount of $1,829,200.
With the approval of today's 6 prime contracts, the total to date is 28 prime contracts awarded for the new correction center for a total of approximately $177 million with 20.49% SEBE participation, which represents about $36.3 million. The next 3 resolutions are contract modifications with existing contractors on the new correction center project. These 3 contract modifications are not the result of unanticipated conditions or owner-requested changes. Instead, the requested modifications result from a strategic redistribution of work and reallocation of cost that was previously part of one large comprehensive detention and equipment and security electronics contractor bid package. However, after further review by the construction team, the decision was made to break it up into smaller, multiple packages to attempt to increase competition, some of which you approved today. Some packages were rebid, and other work was determined to be best served through the contract modification process with existing contractors to keep the project moving. To summarize, today's contract modifications represent a shift of existing cost. The first contract modification is with S.A. Communal Company, Inc. to perform additional fire protection activities. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 884-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Resolution number 884-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 885-18, resolution authorizing a modification to the contract agreement with electrical specialists doing business as the Superior Group to perform additional electrical activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center at an increase in the amount of the contract not to exceed $796,665 for a total amount of $26,666,665.
This second contract modification is with the Superior Group, a local firm, to perform additional electrical activities. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this action. Thank you.
Move approval of 885-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 885-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 886-18, resolution authorizing a modification to the contract agreement with Farber Corporation to perform additional plumbing activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center at an increase in the amount of the contract not to exceed $1,126,259 for a total amount of $11,506,259.
The last contract modification is with Farber Corporation, a local economically disadvantaged enterprise in LEDE, to perform additional plumbing activities associated with construction of the new correction center. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 886-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 886-18 has been adopted.
And thank you for your patience. I know this was a lot of information, but important work, so thank you.
Good
Happy
to have
holidays.
a brief on Thursday.
Happy holidays, guys.
Thank you.
Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 887-18, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to sign a sub-grant agreement with the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Daniels with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. As you're aware, Commissioners, people of color are traditionally far overrepresented in the justice system. They are also far underrepresented in terms of their enrollment in various diversion programs, and that specialty dockets are no exception to that. So under the leadership of Kiston Palmore from our office and Paige Allen from the Municipal Court, we wrote for and received a grant from the MacArthur Safety and Justice Challenge of $50,000 specifically to look at those disparities, their underlying causes, and then to put a plan in place to address those. Special thanks to the prosecutor's office for working us through the language on being able to accept these dollars, and pending any questions, we would ask for your approval.
Move approval of 887-18.
I'll second. This is great.
Yeah, good work, Kiston.
Thank you.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 887-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Partnerships.
Resolution number 888-18, resolution authorizing a contract with Columbus Area Labor Management Committee to provide workplace safety and workforce development education in the amount of $20,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dana McCrary, Community Partnerships. This resolution would allow for a $20,000 contract with CalmSea to provide exposure to careers in the trades to students in grades 6 through 8 and in other community settings, just to increase the window that children are hearing about the trades, to know that that's a career choice that's open to them, getting to them a little bit earlier than high school. So pending any questions, I would request approval of this resolution.
It's good that we're opening up kids' minds to the opportunity. Not a, you know, for years we tried to ingrain in people that you know, college was the only option, and you know, college. We're finding out that college isn't for everybody.
Yes,
and so making sure the kids understand that there are other options out there is a great thing. And so I move approval of Resolution 888-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 888-18 has been adopted.
Thank you. Thank you.
Human Resources.
Resolution number 889-18, resolution authorizing payment of premium to American Bankers Insurance Company to continue coverage of flood insurance in the amount of $38,981.
Good morning, Commissioners. Today for your consideration is the approval of our flood insurance policy. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
Move approval of 889-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 889-18 has been adopted.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.
Thank you.
Purchasing.
Resolution number 891-18, resolution authorizing a contract extension with Abacus Corporation, Brenda J. Davinorf, doing business as TRC Staffing Services and Kelly Services for temporary staffing in the amount of $4,700,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Cuthbert representing the Purchasing Department. This resolution requests your approval of a contract extensions for the temporary personal services. Two of the vendors have agreed to continue cooperative to the 6 contiguous counties to Franklin County. One of the vendors has agreed to his contract as the cooperative to all counties within the state of Ohio. This is the last contract extension, and a new bid will be issued this next year. This contract is used primarily by the Board of Commissioner Agencies, Court of Common Pleas, and the Board of Developmental Disabilities. Pending any questions, I recommend approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 891-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 891-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Tell Buddy hello.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a series of Board of Commissioners. I think I'm going to, before we do those, go back to the Sheriff's Office.
Resolution number 868-18, supplemental contract with Matrix Point Software LLC and the Franklin County Sheriff's Office for the Matrix Police Case Management System in the amount of $2,450,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sorry for the delay.
Morning.
Albert Smith, Assistant Finance Director for the Sheriff's Office. The first resolution approves a supplemental contract with Matrix Point Software for the Matrix Police Case Management System. Matrix provides the best solution for the Sheriff's Office to replace the antiquated Justice Portal Incident Management application to electronically process case files and to integrate with the prosecuting attorney's Matrix crime application. This contract will be for a term of 8 years, and it runs from today through February 28th of 2027. Pending any questions, I ask for passage of this resolution.
Move approval of Resolution 868-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 868-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 869-18, resolution authorizing an agreement with a Penny Rudy, a registered dietitian for dietetic services in the county correctional facilities in the amount of $2,000.
Commissioners, our next resolution authorizes the contract for periodic review of the corrections menu served to the inmates in both of our correctional facilities. The contract will run through September of 2019. Pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
Move approval of Resolution 86918.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 869-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 870-18, resolution authorizing an agreement with Leads Online LLC to operate and maintain an electronic reporting and criminal investigation system for locating stolen property in the amount of $39,702.
Our last resolution approves a contract for electronic services in order to receive property data for the use of law enforcement officials in order to collect, maintain, and disseminate data from local pawn shops for use in criminal investigations. The term of the contract will be for 2 years starting in January of 2019. Pending any questions, I ask for passage of this resolution.
Move approval of Resolution 87018.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Resolution number 870-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Next, Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 892-18, resolution authorizing an agreement with Diversified Systems Incorporated for the purchase of a small and emerging business enterprise compliance management system.
Good morning, Commissioners. Marlise Wicker, your Franklin County Small and Emerging Business Coordinator. This resolution will support the goals of Small and Emerging Business Enterprise Program. The tracking SBE utilization to determine organizational spend is widely known best practice of small business inclusion programs across the country to quantify the effectiveness of a program with or without goal setting. The most advanced programs utilize web-based software programs to track compliance and business utilization as a percentage of organizational list of goods and services provided or spent. In the current environment, two procedures are used to track and identify SBEs to perform work and spend. The first, by accessing the county's purchasing online vendor registration portal. The SBE information form identifies various enterprises such as disadvantaged, minority, veteran, women, EDGE, and the LED, and requires vendors to attach their certification documentation. This form is requested only for informational purposes only and is not part of the evaluation process and does not give any consideration with regard to award. The second step is to manually count the weekly purchase orders reports from Munis, which does not support electronic SBE tracking and does not identify the spend of SBEs. The proposed new software system would allow for collaboration with county agencies to identify availability analysts, find and fill gaps in the quoting process, and possibly make the monthly reporting so much faster. This resolution authorizes an agreement with Diversified Systems of MBE under state contract located in Franklin County for the purchase of PRISM, an all-in-one compliance management software system for diversity, inclusion, and economic development for small and emerging businesses. The software system tracks vendors, contracts, labor, and outreach, and also will create a SBE directory. The resolution will give authorization to County Administrator Ken Wilson to sign off on the software purchase. Pending any question, I ask for passage of this resolution.
The only question I have is, so will this be utilized countywide, or will you sort of be your office be the sort of?
So it is countywide. So various agencies will be able to utilize and be able to log in to identify small businesses for their procurement opportunities.
And so what's the process for training, and how will they get, familiar with it, or is it pretty user-friendly type of?
So Diversified Systems will come in and perform training for various agencies.
Great. I'd like to be kept in the loop as that progresses, and I want to know just how responsive the agencies are, and just to make sure there aren't any kinks or whatever. So I think this is a good purchase, and I'd like to see the end results as we start to produce data.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Move approval of 89218.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Yes. Resolution number 892-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Resolution number 893-18, resolution appointing Ann Gigi and reappointing Todd Marsh to the Columbus and Franklin County Local Food Board.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of these appointments.
Move approval of 893-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 893-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Resolution number 894-18, resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding for the support of Confluence Village.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator. The resolution before you this morning would request your authorization of a memorandum of understanding to support the Confluence Village. The MOU proposed between the county, the city of Columbus, and JHAC Ventures represents a transformational economic development opportunity that will create jobs, improve quality of life, generate various forms of tax revenue, provide for a shared use community sports park, market and affordable housing, commercial and office development, and secure a very important home team for future generations to enjoy and take pride in. This resolution before you truly represents what's best about Columbus as it relates to public-private partnerships. And it is truly a economic development opportunity that will benefit and allow for the creation of a new neighborhood here in Franklin County. So pending any questions, I would respectfully recommend passage of this resolution.
Administrator Wilson, also, I just want to be clear, the City of Columbus has taken action and are also part of the sequence of memorandum of understanding. So it's Franklin County, City of Columbus, private sector, all with various memorandum of understandings in terms of their role and relationship as it relates to this neighborhood or the economic development project itself.
President Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Brown, yes, City Council has unanimously acted and approved this memorandum of understanding on Monday, December the 10th.
Okay. After we have some guests, but are there any questions for the administrator before I move on? No? Okay. We also have with us, it says Alex Fisher, but I don't see him. I see Steve Lyon. Oh, Alex is here. I'm sorry. Didn't see you back there. I saw Steve. And we have Alex Fisher, who's President and CEO of the Columbus Partnership, here to take us through the resolution and answer any additional questions. Mr. Fisher?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. President, Commissioners, County Administrator. First, a big thank you. You all have been by the community side in this incredible journey that we've been on. I won't go back through the history. At some levels, we know it all too well. At some levels, it's a very painful history for our community that started over a year ago. A time when we thought that, in all likelihood, forever, our professional soccer team, the team that was the first team in the MLS, was perhaps lost forever. We know the history of those dark days. We know the history of the lawsuit that began to give us time. We know the history of all three commissioners helping us to think about, plan for, and strategize about how we could turn this around. A big thanks to all three of you all because this plan brings hundreds of millions of dollars of private sector capital to our community. And the Haslam family and the Edwards family don't do that lightly. They do it with an unwavering belief in our community. And that belief is something that each of you individually have helped us to help them understand, to help them believe in our community, to have the belief that this is a smart investment from their standpoint. I also can't stand here. Each of you gave me some individual advice back in the summertime. You gave me your own individual perspectives, the kinds of things you would want to see in such a plan. but you also directed me to County Administrator Ken Wilson. I think in my time in the job of the Columbus Partnership, we've never had a project that was more complex, but we've also never had a project in which a single individual, Ken Wilson, helped us to navigate so many challenges along the way. We know what it means to have a professional sports team in an urban area of our community. We know what it means to have local ownership for a professional sports team. We can look to the McConnell family. We can look to our hometown hero, Jack Nicklaus, and all that he does with professional sports. But we can look to the three of you all for what it means to have a AAA baseball team that you own, that this county owns, the community owns, to have a facility that you all invested in an urban core, and the economic development that has generated over the number of years that that ballpark has been a part of the Arena District. We can remember not too long ago, because it's really not that far in our memories, that Arena District was one of the most blighted areas of our community. And now to have a third installment, if you will, that brings even further economic development. We know the track record. We know what happens when we invest in these types of facilities. We've seen the proven track record. But we're not here today just simply to save the crew. By the way, the Save the Crew movement was one of the most powerful grassroots movements in the history of professional sports, literally. The world has watched what they have done and what our community has done. As important as a new stadium is, as important as the plan that was unveiled a few weeks ago related to the reuse of Mafre Stadium into a community youth sports complex that's going to energize neighborhoods. From my standpoint, this is about economic development. That's who you all know me as, somebody who wants to grow our community. Our community, according to Morphsey numbers, had over 100 people move to it per day, every single day, for 365 days last year. Some of the most phenomenal growth that any community in America has experienced. With it comes a new economic base. With it comes tax revenues and all aspects of Franklin County and beyond. Those are the tax revenues that allow us to do the important work of this county, the important work of this board, to make sure that we are not only lifting up those who are creating those jobs, but lifting up those who have disadvantages in our community. That is the core of the mission of the three of you all in this community. At the core of this plan is continued economic development. I have a fundamental belief that we as a community will only continue to move forward, but we'll only continue to move forward when we're willing to make strategic, and I'm going to emphasize strategic investments. And I think that this is a very strategic investment. I think professional sports are a fabric of a community. I think they're why millennials want to stay in our county. They're why millennials want to move from New York and Washington, D.C. and places in between to come home oftentimes and to relocate to our community. If we didn't have this team, we would want it. We would be pitching for it. But this is way more than a soccer team. This is an economic development engine, a plan. We know the history of your baseball team in that park. We know the history of hockey and the economic generators, and I think we are getting ready to turn a new chapter with local ownership of the professional soccer team, and the limits of economic development can be defined by economic analysis, but I don't think they're actually well defined over what they'll be over the next several decades as Columbus, Franklin County, Central Ohio continue to be the shining example for a community that is not only growing, but growing with a heart towards making sure we uplift every citizen in our community. And as the county administrator mentioned, when the next chapter of the Columbus Way that is taught to community leaders around the world by the Harvard Business School and the Kennedy School has written, I think, a major chapter, if not the entire case study, will be on this incredible journey that we have been on, and the ending that is concluding with your action that I totally endorse today, the action of the state of Ohio last week, the action of the city of Columbus, and the action of the ownership group that is very near this incredibly and insane timeline that was imposed by Major League Soccer. We all know the reasons and why that is, that has caused us to drive as hard as we have driven. So it's with a warm heart that I'm before you. It's with a grateful heart for the partnership that we all enjoy, and with much appreciation, happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thanks, Alex, and I definitely appreciate you being here today. One question I did want to, you touched on it just now, and that's the urgency of this resolution and the timeline. There have been those who've said, why do we need to act so quickly? And my response has been just what you said with regards to that's an MLS sort of deadline. But if you could just give maybe a statement about that urgency and what the sort of technical element of why we have to pass this resolution right now.
Thank you, Mr. President. So it is a requirement by Major League Soccer when they agreed to sell this team back in the summertime, and these private sector owners stepped up. They said a big but we've got to do it by the end of the year. These pieces have to be in place. And by the way, there have been a lot of not only with these discussions, there have been lots of discussions that have been happening on the terms and conditions of the sale of the team and what that looks like. Initially, I didn't like that. I still don't like the fact that we've had to move as quick. It's been hard, right? It's been really, really difficult. But it's been practical. We have a team that needs to know where they're going to play. We have a team that needs to know who their coach is. We have a team that needs to hire a general manager and a coach. It needs to make decisions on its players. Players need to decide where they're going to live. We have a team that's going to start their version of spring training in a few weeks in January. They'll start their official training here in the community in February, and the first game of the 2019 season will be in March. So it is out of necessity that the MLS gave us a really hard deadline. They acknowledge it, they admit it. I can tell you in talking with the commissioner, they are extraordinarily impressed with everything that we have done and that we have accomplished on this journey. And we're all looking forward to a new chapter in partnership with Major League Soccer with our community and this new ownership group.
Alex, I can sit here as a Crew fan. I can sit here as a longtime season ticket holder. For the longest time, the only elected official in Central Ohio that was a season ticket holder of the Columbus Crew, for a lot of reasons that you know of and that folks know of, and the history of the Crew and all that kind of stuff, going back to the Hunts and and I can sit here as a Crew fan, a longtime Crew fan, and just be happy about this vote today, and just be happy that we're saving the team and that you were such a big part of saving the team, and vote for this just because of the Save the Crew movement, and just because of, as a fan, this is fantastic. But as an elected representative of the residents of Franklin County and the taxpayers of Franklin County, this is so much more than that. It's crazy. As I said a couple weeks ago, to the detractors out there, to the folks out there that want to say, why would you do this? Why would you want to invest taxpayer dollars into a sports team? Why would you want to invest taxpayer dollars into a stadium? You got to be kidding me. I mean, the return on the investment for the taxpayer and the citizen and the resident of Franklin County in this deal is fantastic. It is unbelievable. And so this deal is just a great deal. This is just a fantastic thing to do as a business decision for the return on the investment in this deal. And so as a fan, I'm ecstatic to be here today. but as a representative of all of you, as a representative of the citizens of Franklin County and the residents of Franklin County, I'm happy to cast this vote today because it's just the return on a $50 million investment over the course of this amount of time, for the return on the investment, for the investment that is being made into this stadium deal for the citizens and the taxpayers, for the folks that are in the room, for the people that did the analysis on this construction project that's happening. It's just such a fantastic deal. I'd be happy to be able to promote that and talk about that over the coming months and years. It's just a fantastic return, and so it's a great day for all of us. But at the same time, it's a great partnership. It's a great partnership with the City of Columbus. It's a great partnership with the new owners. It's a great partnership that we have, the team being owned by local ownership. And we've been down this road for a long time with Franklin County, with the Haslam family and the ownership of the Browns. And so it's just a great deal, and we appreciate the hard work that you and the partnership have put in as well.
You know, having been at the press conferences, it was evident that the family, the Haslam family and the Edwards family, were invested, totally invested in this.
Yeah.
And it took so much work by so many people to get us to this point. The investment is of the community and of all of the community of the MLS fans and everybody else, but the leadership that you showed, that our county administrator and the team that put this together is incredible. Everybody benefits. The whole neighborhood around that, our investment in Huntington Park benefits. Everybody benefits. So I am thrilled that we are investing in this.
If I might, I'll just one number, hundreds of millions of dollars of investment in the team and facilities by the private sector, but the ownership group is also committing $52 million of philanthropy and direct support. That in and of itself is a pretty good return with that just one single number.
Yeah. Well, as county commissioners, that was a big deal to us as well. And again, we shouldn't, and I know you mentioned it earlier, but we shouldn't go without mentioning the hard work of our county administrator, Maggie Kilgore, the county auditor, and all the work that the folks did behind the scenes to make this thing happen. Fantastic work. I know Ken's been spending a lot of time over the last. He's been county administrator at the same time he's been working with you, burning the midnight oil for the last several months trying to put this thing together. So appreciate all the hard work, Ken.
Yeah.
Now that my iPad went.
We've got a couple other speakers as well.
Okay, good.
So, are there any further comments or questions for Mr. Fisher? Okay.
Thanks for your consideration.
Yeah. Thanks.
We do have, I'd like to open up this meeting at this time for public comment, and we do have at least one guest, maybe two. I'm sorry, two. We have two, I'm sorry. Two guests here to speak. The rules are that you have 3 minutes for your comments. Robin, if you could raise your hand, she'll be keeping the time, so you can pay attention to her. The speakers are permitted to speak in support or against the resolution, and we'll allow for up to 3 speakers. And we'd ask that you keep your comments related to this particular topic. Finally, we ask that speakers refrain from obscenity, commercial advertisement, defamation, or slander, nor will speakers conduct themselves in violation of disorderly conduct or disturbing a public meeting. That being said, we'd like to call our first speaker to the microphone. That's Cookie McKintrey. McIntyre. You know what? My brain is not working today. That's right. And so if you could state your name and who you represent for the record and your address, or do you have to state your address? Yeah, just your name and your who you represent, and whether or not you're for or against the resolution.
My name is Cookie McIntyre, and I'm here for the resolution. And good morning, Commissioners. Thank you. You know, as Alice was speaking, and as being a resident, longtime resident of Franklin County, living in the district, I couldn't help but think about the unknown back in 1998 when the penitentiary was knocked down, and in its place was this large gravel lot. And we were thinking about moving our family to Franklin County from somewhere up north. Not that far up north. But I think where our living room is now is probably where the electric chair was when it was penitentiary. But someone took me out to the middle of that gravel lot, and in the ground was a disc that was, a stake was through it way down into the ground, and it said Center Ice, Columbus Blue Jackets 2000. And a lot of people don't know that it's still there. It's been covered by, you know, the ground and the ice, but it's under there. And that was in 1998. And when I lived through, we made that big purchase in a place in the Arena District in Franklin County where we didn't know what would happen, but the economic impact, the excitement, the energy, the other businesses that came since 1998 because of our public-private partnership of building that ice hockey rink was amazing. And one other thing that I wanted to mention, being an entrepreneur, a business owner, actually our business is going to be in its 30th year this year. It's a lot of work to look this good. But we really enjoy being here. We're a national and international organization. Our business is recruiting, and we recruit nationally and internationally people from all over, and many of those people to come here to Columbus, Franklin County, and other parts that are nearby. And it's a war on talent right now. There are a lot of great cities that have great things to offer, but here in our thriving Columbus, with things like what we're talking about today with the new stadium and the other things that we're doing, is just one more wonderful thing to talk about when we're recruiting great talent here to Columbus, to start their families, to go to school here, to have businesses here, to be contributors to our city. And so I thank you for having me to speak today, and hope that you will vote yes on this resolution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. McIntyre, I just want to say, I really think your testimony is important because it really, that is the type of evolution that often you don't see when real changes come into a community. And you talked about the gravel and the old penitentiary. I just really think that's really good perspective. And, you know, I was talking to a reporter today, and I was saying, you know, my experience in politics has been when major, because I see this as economic development. You know, beyond the sports element of it, to me, this is economic development. Does it create jobs? Does it create commerce? Does it create an environment that people can live, work, and thrive in? And so the answer is yes to those things. But I was saying, historically, I've been around in politics long enough to see places like Easton and Polaris and take shape. And it all starts with gravel on the ground or dirt on the ground and a vision. And then next thing you know, 20 or 30 years later, you see it's become a real part of Central Ohio that is meaningful, attracts people here and visitors, and keeps people here. And so I think your perspective is really important because you're a resident. And so I really appreciate you coming down and testifying and sharing today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Ms. McIntyre, thank you for your comments. Several years ago, this deal with the crew, the new stadiums, harkens back to several years ago when we did the arena deal. And there were a lot of questions about why would we do that deal when back in the 90s, 4 times folks voted against the construction of the arena deal with public funds, and why would we do this and why would we vote for this when people voted against it. And I was on the radio with one of the retired local radio disc jockeys at the time, and he was opposed to the arena deal when we did it. And after we had the interview, he asked me to stay on the line. And he said, you know, before you came on, I was opposed to this, but after your comments, I was for the arena deal. It was because the comment I made was you know, when people were voting in the 90s on the arena deal, on whether to build an arena, they were voting for a field of dreams. They were voting for, if you build it, you know, then maybe we'll get an NHL team, or maybe we'll get an MLS team, or maybe we'll get something. And then the Blue Jackets came, and we had an NHL team. And the Hunts built Mopfre Stadium, or they built Crew Stadium at the time, and we got an MLS team. And things became different. Suddenly we had more than $1 billion worth of investment in the Arena District where you live now. And now it's multiple it's way over $1 billion worth of investment in the Arena District. And so folks didn't want that to go away. There's more than 10,000 jobs in the Arena District. There's over $1 billion worth of investment. And so what we did back in 2011, 2012, when we voted, along with the city to do what we did to purchase the arena, was to preserve that investment. So it was a different time, a different decision than building an arena. It was preserving jobs, preserving investment,
Preserving the neighborhood
preserving the neighborhood,
and our investment.
preserving something that was already created. And so the point I made that morning on the radio station with Daddy Wags from QFM 96 was that I thought that if the vote was held today, I thought it would be a totally different vote than it was back in the 1990s. And so he sent me a photograph that hangs in my office today on the wall that overlooks the Arena District, because I have that view in my office. And it was a view that his brother took, an aerial view of the Arena District in 1972 of the penitentiary.
Yeah.
And what the Arena District looked like then. And then above it is one that Ken Schnake gave us, an Arena District view with Huntington Park and the arena and what it looked like about 2012 or so. It's different now because there's more construction, even more development there now. But what's gone on in the Arena District and what will happen with the construction of the new Confluence Village Stadium is unbelievable. And it's no comparison to what you found in 1998. And so this development, these jobs, this construction that the folks in the back of the room from the trades that are here today, what they represent and all the jobs that are created and all the, it's not, so the folks that still write the letters to the editor today that say, well, we voted for it back in 1994, 1996, and 1998, that's then. This is now. This is a whole different time with a whole different set of circumstance and billions of dollars in investment later.
Mhm.
So happy you came today to testify. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you.
All right. Next, Dorsey Hager. Dorsey.
Thank you for allowing me the chance to come in front of you today, Commissioners. I had a much longer statement prepared, but Commissioner Boyce went through the rules, and after I marked out the commercialism and profanity, it cut it down quite a bit. But I do want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come before you today to speak on the public-private partnership proposal to redevelop Moffray Stadium into the Columbus Sports Park and also the MOU on Confluence Village. The Columbus and Central Ohio Building Trades represents 18,000 skilled trades members in 12 different construction trades craft, and I speak on behalf of those unions and their members today in support of the MOU. The redevelopment of Moffray Stadium is a key component of any proposal to keep the Columbus crew. The failure to address the future of this property would result in the largest vacant and deteriorating building in our community. I've got to talk to my speechwriter about putting the word deteriorating in there. I got to learn how to pronounce it better. But the proposal is proactive, forward-thinking, and most importantly, puts the community first. I am proud to add the Columbus Building Trades to the list of supporters to this project. Additionally, the Columbus Building Trades is proud to help play a role in this plan. The city's commitment to utilize a community benefit agreement, much like the memorandum of understanding that's being used at the jail at this time that we talked about earlier, means that the construction of the community sports park, we will be able to put local skilled construction professionals to work building this facility and continue our efforts to diversify the local workforce and provide training opportunities for the next generation of apprentices. A CBA on this project means that the city's investment will be amplified during this construction phase. My members look forward to the opportunity to build a world-class sports complex that will be a tremendous asset to the surrounding neighborhoods and to the entire community. The commitment to utilizing a local and diverse workforce on the community sports park project and others demonstrates everyone's commitment to build a stronger Columbus. Going off script for a second too, I know 3 minutes, but I also want to thank you all again for the opportunity to speak on the MOU for the Confluence Village. Again, we're very appreciative of that. We've talked in here about the jail. We've talked about creating career opportunities for members of our community. the continued diversification in the local workforce here in Columbus and Central Ohio, and projects like this, the Confluence Village, Moffrey Stadium renovation, the jail, all these just gives us more of an opportunity to recruit that next generation of construction workers to put them on this career path towards the middle class. So I want to thank you today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.
I think how exciting will it be if we have some of our Building Future candidates working on some of those projects? That'll be a neat thing to see if that's possible. So, all right.
Motion.
Move approval of Resolution 894-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 894-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 895-18, resolution authorizing the issuance, repayment, and extension of various interfund loans.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Choleric with the Office of Management and Budget. From time to time, the Board of Commissioners has authorized various interfund loans for cash flow purposes. At the end of each year, the Office of Management and Budget reviews those loans to determine which can be repaid and which can be extended. This resolution would authorize the repayment of 2 loans, partial repayment of 2 others, and the extension of 13 till the end of next year. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 895-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 895-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 896-18, resolution reconciling 2018 appropriations to align with projected ending revenues in the amended certificate of estimated resources.
Commissioners, this resolution just authorizes various decreases in appropriations due to revenues and resources being less than initially anticipated in the Certificate of Estimated Resources, as well as various appropriation adjustments to reconcile any changes prior for the end of the year. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 896-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 896-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 897-18, resolution authorizing a general fund supplemental appropriation to record the administrative fee charged by the state tax commissioner for the collection of the county sales tax.
Pursuant to statute, the state tax commissioner withholds 1% of sales tax payments owed to the county for administrative purposes. The auditor of the state requires the county to record the revenue and associated expense as part of the budget process. This resolution authorizes those appropriations as well as the revenue adjustment of just over $3 million. This resolution also authorizes an increase of approximately $6.5 million due to higher than anticipated sales tax collections during the year. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of the single worst resolution of the year.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 897-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 898-18, resolution authorizing transfers to various operating, reserve, and capital funds.
Commissioners, this resolution makes various transfers, including a transfer of $1 million to the 27th pay that is scheduled for 2020, transfers to various capital funds, including the Permanent Improvement and Board of Elections Voting Fund, as well as operating funds such as Job and Family Services and Animal Care and Control. Resolution also authorizes $7 million from the Medicaid Sales Tax Transition Fund back to the general fund. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 898-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 898-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 899-18, resolution authorizing the annual appropriation measure for fiscal year 2019.
Commissioners, this resolution would authorize the 2019 approved budget of approximately $1.7 billion across the 35 agencies, offices, courts, and boards under the appropriation authority of the Commissioners. With regard to the general fund, the appropriations are just under $461 million, which is approximately $5 million less than the anticipated revenue, so we should see an increase in fund balance at the end of 2019. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
I was waiting to see if you had anything to say.
I always have something to say.
Well, would you like for me to move approval first, or would you like to?
I mean, I think a lot. We've spent a lot of time with our hearings and hearing from agencies with regards to what works for Franklin County and how we want to do better and get better. I definitely think this budget is reflective of us doing better, working better, and being more effective for Franklin County residents. And I just want to thank all the staff that put so much hard work into it, Administrator Wilson, your deputies, as well as all the directors and the time that you take in the budget process. I know we ask a lot of questions and we pick and prod a lot about what you do, why you do it, and how you're going to do it with regards to the resources, but it's in the name of working together. It's in the name of delivering the service in a way that we feel can be best served for Franklin County residents, and I think we accomplished that. It's not perfect, it never is. What we do isn't perfect, it never is, but we work to get to that perfectness, and that's the whole key. That's why many of you wake up every day and come in and you do the things that you do, knowing and believing that we're part of a bigger system, part of a bigger organization. And we as commissioners, I know I can't speak on behalf of my colleagues, but I know they agree with me when I say that we believe in you and we believe in the system, and that budget is reflective of our beliefs and our priorities. While I think personally, I think we've got a long way to go to be the best we can be. I also think I'm very confident that everyone as part of this Franklin County organization wakes up every day with that goal and that effort and being the best we can be. And so I just want to say thank you. Definitely want to thank, I think Budget Director Telerik is stellar. I just, you know your numbers inside and out. I've been part of state, city, national politics or national government, and I just don't know a person that's more steeped in their numbers, almost too much, quite frankly. Almost too much. We had taken him, we went to the rating agency in New York, and the guy was like, I haven't flown in years, I haven't been out of town in like years. I'm like, you got to get out more.
To travel.
I know. We got to get out more, man. But I do think you're a unique breed, and you do your job very well, sir. You do your job very well, and so we appreciate you and value. I know Ken feels that way as well.
Thank you, Commissioners. And again, I couldn't do what I do without my team at the Office of Management and Budget. Thank you.
Well done, team.
I say this every year. You guys do what you do and you make us look good, and sometimes that's not easy. But thank you for all that you do on behalf of the citizens of Franklin County. It's a pleasure to do what we do. It's an honor to do what we do. It's the best. I think it's the best job. It's the best job in government is to be a county commissioner, and we, in every other form of elected office. You look at public service differently, but at this, we get to serve the people where it matters, and you guys do a fantastic job, and we really appreciate all the work that you guys do every day on behalf of the folks that live in this community. So you do a great job. We have an interesting special guest today. I looked up and saw John Honick from the County Commissioners Association of Ohio is here with us today. So we're being observed, I guess.
What's that about?
I don't know. John's here. So thanks for being here today, John, on our last meeting of the year as we vote out our budget. But we had a lot of, and this was a special meeting today because we had a couple of, included in this budget, on top of the fact that we voted for funding for Confluence Village today in a partnership with the city and the ownership group of the crew. We're also in this budget voting for some important funding for the arts community that's going to help there as well, and in partnership with the larger community. And so there's a lot of, as well as all of the fantastic things that are in this budget for this community and the people that we represent, and just the work that you guys do. And I know Kevin, hasn't had a chance yet today to tell each and every one of you how your department is the best and his favorite department in all of government.
Favorite
But
department.
you know, the work that you guys do, and I look out and I see everybody that's out there, and the people that you guys represent, your agencies, and the work that you guys do. And then we've been talking in my office about, you know, each of your agencies and you know, some of our folks, and how we just have a killer staff, and the directors and the agencies that you guys represent, and the work that you guys do. And I mean, Zach's not lying when he says he has a fantastic staff and budget. And you know, people of this county are lucky. They're really lucky. And we work with our colleagues from across the state and across the country. And you know, it's easy to brag about Franklin County. You know, it's easy because we know what we have here. You know, Kevin and I were out in San Diego last week, and I told a group that I was speaking to that you know, we like to think that we're one of the best counties in Ohio, and it's kind of easy because we're double AAA bond rated, and there's only a couple counties in Ohio that are double AAA bond rated. But we also like to think that we're among the better counties in the country, and that's the reason why we belong to Luck and we belong to NACO, is because we want to be amongst the best counties in the country, and we want to put ourselves in that group of, you know, the biggest and the best counties in the country. And you know, I think that the folks out there look at us that way, and they look at us that way because of you guys and the work that you guys do. And groups like Macomb Capital that are considering us for, you know, a pay for performance. You know, that work that we're doing with them that's happening because of the work that you guys do. Sorry for talking so long. Thanks, guys.
We need a motion.
Oh, need a motion for resolution 899-18. I move approval of resolution 899-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 899-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, everybody.
Are there any generalizations?
No, sir.
Nope. That concludes our meeting. Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Journalize them on the last day.